Okay, people, Bruce here, and right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give a little demo on how to understand how the stack overtime feature works. Now, this is how it goes. I've actually got an agent with the name of Agent One, and I've scheduled this employee for just a 9-hour shift only at the time being. Why? Because we are going to extrapolate and look into the details how the stack overtime feature works. So, going back to the shift, instead of an 8-hour shift, I've created a 9-hour shift for the employee. The name is Agent One. And going back to the second tab, I've already opened a couple of tabs for payroll, and there's one for payroll setting. So I'm going to go ahead into payroll settings first, just so that we're all on the same page. Now, as per the default payroll setting, this is actually the default rate card. These are the generic settings for the account. 8 hours, anything after 8 hours goes into overtime, and anything after 40 hours on weekly basis goes into weekly overtime. Now, going to the default card, what I've done is that I've added the weekly overtime rate to 150%, but I haven't checked the stack overtime option. And for now, the daily overtime that is in effect would be after 8 hours, pay rate changes to 150%. I'm not going to delete this one. So, and as we all know that the daily overtime and the weekly overtime do not correlate with the stack feature. They only work while an employee is in daily overtime, and is also the time in the daily overtime is also colliding with the special hours time. So with that being said, I've already had the liberty of adding the times for this employee. Well, in this just for the case for this employee for 200%, right? Probably I just missed out Sunday, but that's not that much of a problem. So we see that the times from 4 p.m. to onwards are set up to 200%. Now, once we already know that we haven't checked the stack overtime value, so what will happen is that when we go to the schedule hour report for this employee, we see his position, his base rate that is at $10. The default card that's been applied to his position. This is going to be the regular rate. This is going to be the overtime. So with that in effect, 8 hours into 10 would be a grand total of 80. But the last hour, the overtime hour, would be multiplied by 150% with reference to this rate card. So his last hour pay would be $15. So 80 plus 15 would be a grand total of 95. That's easy. I mean, that's easily understandable. Now, when I go back to the default card once again and I check the stack weekly overtime feature, let me just wait and let's just let it load. Card has been updated, so we will go ahead and make a little change just to show a little refresh on the screen, and let's have a quick look at it. So the same date, same employee, same timings, but what just happened over here is that instead of 95, we see that another total of 15 has been added. Why is that so? Now let me explain that part. What happens is that when the daily overtime is multiplied by the overtime hour that the employee has scored in that particular shift, and when we already have the stack overtime option checked in for the rate card, this last hours calculation or whatever hour numbers calculation is also multiplied by the percentage set up for the special hours. So as we already know that the special hours percentage was set up as 200%, right? So it's simple. 10 into 150% was a grand total of 15. Now 15 into 200% would be a grand total of 30. So with that being said, we can clearly see that $80 plus $30 gives a grand total of $110. I hope that was easily explained.